Good morning, everyone. We're just waiting for the parties to join and then we can get started.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hey, good morning, Your Honor.
Morning. I believe Attorney Jacobs, is your client joining this morning or is it just you?
I indicated to him that he could, and I sent him the link. I'm not sure whether he's having difficulty or not, but we can proceed.
Oh, okay. No, actually I do believe I see him, so we can add him uh as a
Thank
panel
you.
so then we can get started. All right, and Mr. Fermin, if you see a, request to join as a panelist, if you could accept that so we can get started at 9:30, that would be helpful. All right, and it looks like Mr. Fermin is joining, so um, if you could just turn on your video and unmute yourself, we can get started.
Okay, perfect. Let me go downstairs because I have my daughters.
All right, no problem.
One second. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. All right, so I believe this is everyone, so we're good to get started. Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, February 9th, 2026. The time is 9:30 a.m. This is a status conference in the matter of James Fermin for the Massachusetts Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission. We are convening remotely over Zoom, and the status conference is open to the public. This conference is being recorded, and no one else should be recording at this time. The Honorable Kenneth J. Fishman is the presiding officer over today's status conference. My name is Lizzie Zhao, and I'm the hearings administrator for the Post Commission, and this matter is now before Judge Fishman.
All right, if counsel state their appearances, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Bill Aiello on behalf of the Division of Standards.
Good morning, Your
Morning.
Honor. Walter Jacobs on behalf of Mr. Furman.
Good morning, and Mr. Fermin is present. I should say it was delightful seeing a picture of your daughters.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Those
Okay.
that's what those are that's my life and joy.
Uh, I'm sure that's true. Um, all right, well, we're here for a status conference, and pursuant to our request, I do see that the parties filed a status. Let's get them. A joint status conference memorandum. Thank you for that. Um, this case had been subject to a stay that I ordered almost exactly a year ago, not quite. Um, and I understand that according to the status conference memorandum, that the respondent is withdrawing the motion to stay now that his criminal matter has been resolved. Is that right, Mr. Jacobson?
There's been a resolution of that. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And there was also at the time a proceeding this before civil service. Is that standing in the way of us proceeding?
I don't believe that it's standing in the way. Mr. Aiello and I had a discussion last week prior to filing the joint status conference. My best understanding is that civil service is waiting. They're not doing anything. They put it in a limbo because their position is that at the moment, Mr. Fermin is not employed by a law enforcement agency and he is not currently post certified. Therefore, they're not sure that there's a reason for civil service to go forward because there's nothing that they can order right now. That probably posts has to go first. I don't presume to tell you what needs to be done or not done, but that is my understanding of where civil service stands. And then Mr.
That's
Aiello
never
and I,
stopped you. That's never stopped you before, Mr. Jacobs, telling me what I
well,
should be doing.
my apologies, Your Honor.
Yeah.
We believe then that there's the stay we've agreed should be lifted because the criminal part has come to a resolution. We believe probably post would go forward and then civil service would decide if post, for example, restored Mr. Ferman's certification, then he would be eligible to work in law enforcement. Then the issue would become whether he has to do something to deal with the city to get in a position where he has a law enforcement position, or wait until he has a law enforcement position with some other entity or municipality, or go to civil service. But I think that's probably the order. And I think what civil service is doing is waiting because they weren't sure exactly what they should do.
That makes sense to you. It sounds right to me, Mr. Aiello.
It does, Your Honor. Yeah, so we discussed this last week.
Okay, good. All right, so what that means to get these to get these proceedings going again, as you noted, excuse me, we're gonna need to schedule a pre-hearing conference. Um, and I guess you suggested certain dates. The March 12th and 13th are available to both of you, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Still good for you, Mr. Jacobs?
I'm checking the calendar right now, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yes, they are, Your Honor.
Okay. Lizzie, is the 12th available? That's a better date for me.
Yeah, the 12th is available. And would you prefer 9:30 a.m. again?
That's fine. That's good. If everybody can do that, that's perfect.
Mr.
this would
Aiello and
be-
I, my
Go ahead.
apologies.
Sorry, I was just going to say this would be remotely over Zoom. So there's no need to worry about, coming in to Boston.
Thank you.
Traffic.
Mr. Aiello and I discussed the fact that we need to try and get some information, and then decide whether we need certain things subpoenaed or not, and try and find out what the post status is, because I had indicated to him, on my understanding, and I'm not positive, but that when Mr. Fermin for the second time applied, took the civil service exam and scored high enough to be considered by Lawrence. Lawrence had done initially considered a bypass. We filed an appeal. An agreement was made with the city. He went back to the academy. Because he had been too long out of the academy to be hired without going back. My understanding was that there may be some confusion whether or not Post had taken the position that he was being certified as a new hire, and that at some point in time he was indeed certified, and then the certification was removed, or whether he was not certified. There are a lot of issues whether various people within Lawrence, even though they made an agreement for him to be employed, then failed to fill out the good character certification paperwork necessary for Post to go forward. There are some procedural things that are unclear that Mr. Aiello and I talked about that we need to try and track down the details of in order to know what the status is of the Post certification process.
Well, it shouldn't be that difficult, I would think.
No, Your Honor, it won't be difficult. We just want to get a agreed upon timeline in front of Your Honor, which I think will streamline this whole process and will give a greater understanding.
I guess the underlying question is, what are you seeking to review at this point? Are you seeking to review a subsequent decision to not to certify, or is it the original decision? And that's
I would
not
say
clear.
Your Honor, I don't know that I can honestly answer that because I'm not positive whether he was indeed certified by post and then that certification was suspended or canceled or terminated. I don't know exactly what happened. We have certain emails indicating that he was not being certified because the city had not submitted the proper packet to post, and then he was going to try to self-certify his good character before post if that was a procedural possibility. And then we received some emails that he had been treated by post or was going to be treated by post as a new hire and preliminarily certified as a new hire. I don't know for sure what actually took place. I've seen descriptions of what was going to take place or what people alleged to have taken place, but I think I'd have to rely on Mr. Aiello to tell me what actually took place.
Okay. All right. Well, this by setting this a month off, more than a month off, it seems to me that we could get that ironed out so that there's no question left about what we're doing here.
I believe that's correct, Your Honor. I just wanted to bring it to your attention that this is an issue that Mr. Aiello and I have discussed and that we feel we need to move on, as he was indicating, early on, so we know exactly what it is that we're asking post, appealing to post or asking post to do.
No, of course, I agree with you. So in the meantime, once you've got that ironed out, the usual issues relating to a pre-hearing conference will have to be addressed with you regarding discovery and their legal issues and evidentiary issues. And I think you have enough time to do that as well.
That's
I
correct.
believe so, Your Honor.
Okay. I mean, and I'm not unnecessarily pressing forward the dates you or ones you suggested. I just think that this matter has, for both the interests of the respondent as well as the interests of post, it seems to me that this has lingered long enough that we ought to get right to it. So I look forward to your filing with regard to those matters in advance of the hearing for on March 12th. Are there any other issues you think I should be thinking about before that
I don't
time?
have any at the moment, Your Honor. I will communicate with Mr. Aiello and we'll try to resolve all of these issues and submit something to Your Honor prior to the March 12th hearing so that we can discuss anything that remains.
Terrific. Mr. Aiello, you're on the same page?
Same page, Your Honor. I echo what Attorney Jacobs said. We'll conference. We'll get a good pretrial hearing report in front of you, and this should be able to streamline the process.
Okay. All right. Very good. If there's nothing further, we'll finish. We'll close this hearing, and I look forward to hearing from you and meeting with you on March 12th.
9:30, correct, Your Honor, by Zoom?
What's that?
9:30 by Zoom?
Yes.
Yep.
9:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Take care.